All right. Welcome to the BRL conversation. It's another fantastic time to be here with you guys. This has been long overdue, and of course, we stopped this last year. I think we had our last session last year, and we were supposed to have continued this year, but unfortunately, we have been, waiting for the right time to kick off. And just unfortunately, again, if I want to play a fast one on me, so that today's event will not hold now lie. Nothing is stopped today's own. We are going to have it, light or no light, we're having this conversation, and it promises to be as hot as ever. And today is going to be a special time, very special moment, because we have a very remarkable, distinguished guest who is going to be joining us live today. Oh, I'm so excited. I've looked forward to this moment since last year. Since last year, I've looked forward to having this session with this very, very great, distinguished gentleman who, has done a whole lot in the internet space. He's a man whose time is money. Like, literally, his time is money. And so getting him to be here to join this conversation today, it's definitely a huge privilege. He has given to me, and also a lot of us who will be joining us soon to also have this this conversation. He's already in the studio. I can see him already in the studio. But before I bring him up, I need to read his profile. Such big masquerade, we don't bring them up like that. We must water the ground, appease the gods before you bring such person up. All right, so he will join us shortly. But before I bring him up, I need to disclose who this person is, so you guys will know the big masquerade we have today, live in the BRL conversation. Remember, just before I read his profile, the BRL conversation is business, relationship, and lifestyle. Okay, that's what the BRL stands for, BRL conversation. And we started this last year, September, and we've had a couple of thought leaders, come in, have this conversation. But this definitely is the biggest thought leader yet who will be gracing this show, and I'm super excited to have him right here to join us in this conversation. So I know you're wondering, for those who have seen the flyer, you should know who I'm talking about already. But if you haven't seen the flyer and you are also going to join us live right here, I will be disclosing the man of the moment, the man who will be joining us in this conversation. His name is none other than the Don Emeka Nobis. This is so exciting for me right now. You can see me blushing, even though I'm not very fair, but you can see the blushes, right? He is the one who will be gracing this stage and this studio in a jiffy. But before I bring him up, like I said, I need to water the ground. Let me tell you a little about this man, just in case you've heard his name and you don't know who he is. Let me read a little profile about him, and then we will jump into the conversation without taking so much time. His name is Emeka Nobis. He has spent 10 years of his life working as a mechanical engineer for a multinational oil servicing company. During his working years, of course, he met individuals who were gifted but couldn't come to terms with showcasing their gifts, to humanity. So Emeka resigned from his job to focus on helping individuals who have a message to share with humanity, but are scared, doubtful, and confused to become exceptional by clarifying their messages, build a platform for communication of their ideologies, and to end by establishing profitable business system. He also works with organizations to help them entrench progressive leadership cultures that turn employees into brand ambassadors, train middle and top managers on team dynamics and communication strategies that increase loyalty, bonding, and patronage. He is your quintessential writer, coach, business consultant, and trainer. As a practicing sage, he utilizes effective coaching models to aid individuals and organizations re-engineer their paradigm, thereby creating optimal cultures for success. He is trained and certified in the use and practice of Ericksonian hypnosis, result technologies, performance consulting, and neurological repatterning. As a thought leader, he helps individuals who have experiences, gifts, expertise, or knowledge in subject areas to define clearly what their focus should be, communicate their ideologies using formidable platforms, and to earn profitably by setting up processes and systems. He blogs regularly via www.emekanobis.com and has a thriving social media followership. Trust me, he has over 80,000 followers on Facebook already, and of course his Twitter handle has close to 20,000, and of course that's so Instagram has over close to 20,000, and then in Twitter, wow, about over 10,000 or more already is the amount of following he has on social media. He founded and administered a Facebook group, Pen and Ink Masters. He founded it to help individuals become truly exceptional at utilizing their gifts, expertise, experience, and knowledge to build profitable enterprises. He is a TEDx speaker and has been featured in several radio stations, TV stations, and thereabouts. He has also featured in a lot of print and digital medias, to mention them, there are too many to mention. And of course, finally, he is married to Joy Nobis and has a son and 2 daughters together. They live in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. Trust me, this profile is a watered down profile of this man. He's far greater than what you've just read, but he has decided to do concise stuff. I know him as a Don, and he is the master of shameless marketing, right? That is what we've known him for in recent times, and he has done that unequivocally, unapologetically, and of course, trust me, if you follow this man, he's just a wealth and a bundle of knowledge. He is here right now, and he will be joining us shortly. I would have this pleasure of inviting the very great Dan, the great Emeka Nobis. I hope you can join us live right now so I can begin the conversation. Boss, my hands are in the air, sir. Should I bring you down?
Well done, bro. Thanks a lot you can hear me clearly, right?
Yes, I can. Can you also hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you so clearly. Sorry, my head was bowed at the time that you were introducing me. So I'm here. I'm glad. Thanks for inviting me to be part of the session tonight.
All right. Of course, you don't need to listen to your own introduction now because you know who you are already. It is the audience that needs to listen to who you are.
Thank you.
All right. So, yeah, quickly, I know you're a very busy man, so I don't want to take so much of your time. But the conversation, of course, is within business, relationship, and lifestyle. And we would start quickly. There's something that's very striking, and I know a lot of persons will really want to know how you'll be able to move from a science student, in fact, no, a very exceptional. I've read one of your posts about how good you were with, mechanical engineering, and how you're able to leave that and become, if we want to put it in terms of educational background, become maybe a commercial student or an art student. So, how did that happen? I know science students normally are good, but how did it happen to you? How did that happen?
So I will bring that down to two things basically. Number one is the fact that embedded inside of every one of us is a gift, a talent, as you may want to call it. But the issue is that many individuals may not have identified or discovered that they've got this talent within inside of them. My studying engineering was as a result of being fascinated by a plane that was flying in the air, basically. But at the age of 7, I had already discovered and understood that I had a gift to write, a gift of writing, basically. Because when I was 5 and 7, even right now, my daughter is exhibiting those traits. So she comes back from school, she's done with her assignment, and she keeps writing on scripts. Most times, my daughter will always tell me to buy her notebooks. So the second daughter of mine is asking for something else, like when they want to buy toys. But whenever we go into the supermarket, my first daughter is always asking for me to buy her a notebook. And then we get back home and she's scribbling. So that's to show you that at that level, she's currently exhibiting. I don't know if it's a talent yet. All I'm doing is to guide her. But at that point, when I was 7 years, I realized that I had that gift of writing. So I could write short stories, I could write drama, I could write essays, That's the first thing every one of us need to understand if you're on this live stream, that there's something embedded inside of you that God has put inside of you that you need to discover that God had a gift. The second thing is the fact that even though I studied engineering, right? Let me still say some things about the first one. Even though I studied engineering, because that came as a result of being fascinated. As I told you, one day I came out and I saw the aeroplane in the air, and I began to ask questions. How did this thing get into the air? Right? How did this big thing just start flying in the air? And someone answered me at the time that the kinds of individuals who make that happen are called aeronautical engineers. And so that was how I wanted to become an aeronautical engineer. But by the time I was getting to my my SS1, I began to realize that I couldn't study that in Nigeria at the time. And so I had to opt for something else, which was mechanical engineering. Well, a lot of stories surrounding that. So the second thing is the fact that every one of us who are here, we can learn something new. We can learn something new, all right? And I'm saying that there could be boundaries. For example, now I cannot go and learn how to start playing football professionally because I think I've gone beyond that age. I'm 42. I cannot play football now professionally, but I can still learn how to play football. I can still learn how to kick football, right? So for me, what I'm doing right now is as a result of learning. So I study, I read every day. I read people, I read books, I read posts, I read social media stuff. And so I keep learning. And that was how I began to grow my consciousness, my awareness, my expertise, my knowledge, skills to be able to do what I am doing today. And I'm consistently learning. I'm consistently learning every day by books that I read, by conversations that I have with individuals. And so if you're thinking, okay, this guy was in engineering, now how is he able to do what he's doing? That's the answer lies in those two things I just explained. One, your talent. Secondly, the ability of the human mind to be able to learn something new. So that's how I can explain my current journey to people who are watching us right now. I can't hear you anymore. I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, I think you're... Sorry, I muted my mic actually, so I don't get to interfere. Okay, yeah, it's fantastic. If I got you correctly, it was something you have discovered from when you were 7, and so it wasn't difficult for you to have that switch because it was already something you have developed over the years, even before you became the mechanical engineer. So yeah. Meaning that for those who want to switch, they should be sure that it's something they've also developed over the years, not just oh, there's money here, let me just switch and jump into there and say I'm going to make the money. So another question, while you moved there, I'm sure it was first passion for you. It was what you loved doing, and then you moved. I'm sure also you thought about the money factor, how you're going to make money from it, because you were in an oil company, working in an oil company. Of course, I know oil companies pay well. And I'm resigning and moving into this other field, which is what you love doing, but that will not pay the bills now. Money is what you need to pay the bills. So how did you figure that out, the money part? Did you just jump into it like, okay, anyhow, we'll survive? Or there was already things you had in place that you felt, okay, this could give me a soft landing?
Okay, so before I kicked off, I was very passionate, right? I knew that I was going to resign. People who meet me now tell me my life is always about process. I had seen individuals who had resigned and they came back after a few months or after a few years to ask for their job back because maybe what they ventured into didn't really work. That's not a bad thing actually. But I said to myself, I don't want to resign and then I will come back begging for my job. What is it that I should do that will make me sustainable on this journey, on this path? And so I began to study individuals, I began to meet individuals, study individuals who are doing well, remarkably well for themselves in this industry. And that's the thing. If you want to step into any part of any industry whatsoever, I need to understand what really works in that industry, what is obtainable in that industry, so that you can arm yourself with the requisite information and knowledge to be able to survive and to thrive in that particular industry that you're stepping into. So for me, so I did all that. Then one day I had a conversation with Victor Imobasi, one of my friends, and he said to me, Emeka, in all that you're doing, the passion and everything, you're going to resign very soon. Have you thought about the income streams? You have to think about the income streams because it's not just about passion alone, but the fact that you need to feed. Because at that time I was already married. You need to feed your family. You need to feed your wife. You need to feed your kids. So you need to think about the income streams. So it was at that time I began to think about what kind of products would I be creating? What kind of stuff should I be doing? How do I get money flowing into my pockets? So that was how I began to realize, okay, what are those ways for me, my industry? Be coaching, strategy sessions, writing books, speaking at events, trainings, online courses, ebooks. Now that I've added influencer marketing, at that time I was not thinking influencer marketing, but right now people pay me 30K to write one post. Yeah, it's compared to other individuals who do the kind of things I do, it's relatively cheap. But I mean, if that money comes in almost on a daily basis, something beautiful. So imagine I got 30K coming into your pocket every day, multiply that by 7 days, that's about 200,000, 10,000. Something remarkably good for you to be able to do, live life on the average, right? And so I began, as I said, when I understood the income streams that I needed to create, I began to do those things. And so when I began to do them, even though now I don't do coaching anymore because of the energy and the time involved, but I'm doing quite a whole lot. So I speak at events, I write my books. Like this year now, I'm thinking of writing. I'm doing 5 books that I want to release on my birthday. I'm doing 2 books every month, 2 ebooks every month, because I want to have by the end of the year to have like 24 ebooks written so that individuals can have an array of things to buy from me. I do influencer marketing. I do all the things that I have written out for I've stated here, and the things that I do. So I had to ask those questions. What are the income streams? How will I make money by the time I resign? Because it's not just about passion; it's about that passion really earning money for you to survive. Because you need money to do a whole lot of things. You need money to push your brand out there. You need money for running campaigns, for advertisements, a whole lot that you need money for. So it's critically important that you think about the income streams for yourself. I can't hear you. I think you're muted again.
Sorry, okay. So when you ventured into this, like you have mentioned, and with all the income streams you had as at that time, I'm sure there was one very particular moment or a series of events that happened that made you feel like, oh, this is it. Like, I think at this point, no going back. I'm not going back to that oil company anymore. This is where I would spend the rest of my life doing this. So was there that experience for you at some point, or you just moved smoothly into it? Was it an aha moment at any point in time when you?
Yeah. When I started out on this journey and I began to create content and people began to engage in my content, then gradually people began to need my time. Individuals began to come across to me to say, how do you do this? I need this solution. I want to do this. What can I do? And then I began to get invited to places to go to speak, from getting 5 Alive and Puff Puff, to getting pats on the back for job well done. I received monies and started getting 5K, from 5K to 10K to 11K to 15,000, and then for the first time I got 45,000 naira to speak for 1 hour. Sorry, 50,000 naira to speak for 45 minutes, and it was truly amazing. It was a friend of mine that masterminded my going to Bielsa to speak. To today, I can never forget what that guy did for me. I slept in his house. He took me out. We ate. We did pepper soup and all that. Right now, he's in Lagos. And then I spoke the next morning, and I was paid 50K. Immediately I was done speaking, I went back to Port Harcourt. So it's been a gradual. It was a gradual movement, all right. And at a point, I knew that what I was venturing into had become larger than my current purpose in the company. So that was when I began to plan to resign. So I started planning my resignation in 2010, 11, and I said to myself, I needed 5 years to be able to. I can't actually say why I said 5 years to myself, but I just knew that at 5 years, I felt that it was just a knowing that 5 years would be enough for me to plan my exit. And so I began to plan, and part of the activities I was doing at the time planning was speaking at events, showing myself, doubling down on Facebook and creating lots of content so that people could know who I was, and a whole lot of other things that I was doing at the time. So 2016 February, I attended my resignation, and then I moved on. Even that very day that I attended my resignation, I had some fears, after a while that I wrote in my email, because the thing is that when that email is minuted upon, the moment it gets to HR, no going back. So before the minute of that email, I was outside, I was thinking my life, guy, she'll say that correct thing you used to, she'll say you will come down, she'll say, so I was battling with thoughts. I just stepped out of my office, went out to the veranda, where we used to stand, people smoke and drink coffee. So I was just there. I was thinking to me in my head, guy, are you sure you made the right decision? Are you just really sure? You think, give yourself some time and all that stuff. But then the final conversation in my head was, Emeka, you're done with this, so move on. So that was how I just decided to not to go back again to to achieve the email. And so I moved on. It's been a fruitful journey ever since then. It's
Wow.
increasing levels. So because right now I touch people's lives, and part of growing wealth is not even for the things that you can do for yourself, but what people can do for you. Like my wife now, she said to me that, Emeka, today I'm wearing something new. This is what I'm wearing on my feet. Somebody sent it as a gift to me yesterday, and this year alone I've received 3 pairs of shoes. If you check how much I should have spent on those shoes, and I know that a lot more will come. When I start out my tours to different states, like in Lagos last year, I got up to 5 pairs of shoes in Lagos alone. So I know that by the time I start my tours again this year, people, in my cupboard here, I have about 4 bottles of wine. People come here almost every day to come to thank me for the remarkable work I'm doing. I don't drink all the wine. Maybe sometimes when I'm going for birthdays, instead of me buying wine now, I'll just take one here, wrap it, that kind of stuff. So people come here with granules. This granule, somebody gave me as a gift yesterday, so I'm always chewing something. You get what I mean? So part of growing the wealth is when people just come to support you without you spending your money all the time. So it's part of the beauty of the journey, right? It's part of what of clothes. People dash me clothes consistently. Yesterday I was looking at a pile of shoes in my house. Some of them I've not even worn them. I told my wife, man, I think I need to get a shoe rack where I can put all of them. So when I come out in the morning, my eyes can go to the shoe rack and choose the one I want to wear for the day. Even though I have some favorites. So it's been a journey, and I don't think I can go back again. It's just and I head ahead. That's
Well, it's sweet to hear, really. It's sweet to hear, and I know a lot of persons are in this particular space where you were, and they would love to have let me take myself for instance. I'm still in an engineering job, doing what I'm doing, and of course these thoughts are also crossing my head at some point, like, is it worth it? Can you jump? Are you ready to take that leap? So I know a lot of persons are like me also, who are still in that point where they're trying to weigh their options and know if this is the right time to move. And that's why this conversation is going to help a whole lot of persons to make that decision. And like you have mentioned, touching lives is something that's remarkable. Ever since I connected with you, the value has just been amazing, really. Just reading your content alone do a whole lot to a lot of us who follow you, a whole lot of things. You might not even know the extent of how much you take your content and start studying it word for word, to implement these things. A whole lot of persons do these things, and there's no better feeling than impacting lives. There's just no better feeling. So I really understand what you're saying, and I know I'm learning, and a lot of persons are also learning alongside this. Let me quickly acknowledge those who are here. Thank you for joining. Elijah, I see you. Bridget, thank you for coming. 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐕𝐄𝐑𝐒𝐊, see you. Sofix, thank you for joining. This Neji, thank you for joining. If you're not following the Don Emeka Nobis, quickly follow him right now. Follow him right now. If you don't do that, trust me, you're losing a whole lot. There's free value he's giving on his timeline on Facebook, on Instagram. There's so much you can learn in this process, and that can even shape your life without you even having to meet him one-on-one. So please and please, these are things you don't want to miss. Join him, and you would not regret it one single bit for doing that. Okay, moving on. We've talked about business Let me just ask this: in your journey, are there things you've regretted? Did you at any point regret making that move? Are there challenges you experienced that was like, oh my God,
No,
are you sure I make the decision?
No, I've not regretted. I've never regretted this decision. Trust me, because I put my mind to it. I made the right preparations. Even though when I left, I had some pitfalls here and there. I had some deeps here and there. The first deep I had was that I didn't really know how to engage psychologically with certain clients at the time. I just felt that, Emeka, you know this thing. I mean, clients should not bend you, and then the client is coming and saying, "This is how I want this thing to get done," and you're like, "No, I'm intelligent. This is how it ought to be." So I woke up one day and I was locked out from the group, from the client's infrastructure for what I was doing for them. And then the lawyer called me and said, "We're sending your money to you. We have terminated your contract with us," and all. So it was a very painful period of that period. And then before resigning, I think I had 7 individuals that I was coaching at the time. They were paying me 60K per month at the time. And from 7, the whole thing went down to 2. 5 of them dropped out and said they were not continuing anymore. I mean, it was painful at the time, but that didn't make me decide to go back again. I was only thinking, how could I expand? How could I make more money? What should I do? And all that stuff. And then eventually things started picking up again. And I mean, these days I do my launches and people tend to, like, over the last December, I said to myself I was going to take my family on a holiday. And I mapped out that I was going to spend 2 to 3 million, to take my family on a holiday of 10, 11 days. And trust me, I did a launch that period, December 25th, which I think you know about it. And money was just coming in and flowing and flowing. I mean, sometimes we go to shop, and after shopping, I'll see 25K. My brother will be looking at me, I'll just pay. I go to another shop again, we have 30K on the basket. You'll be looking at me, I'll just bring out my ATM card and pay. I know many of them will be looking at this guy and wow, you gotta. I mean, they don't see the physical work that I do. You get what I mean? It's always on the laptop and phone, and then what you get what I mean? So I think it's a very beautiful place to be in, and I'm increasing in that. Like before coming on this live stream now, I was uploading my videos on Udemy, right? Those I want to see if I can expand beyond Nigeria. You get, and I spoke to the founder of State Court, which is with an affiliate marketing company. They are doing quite well. I believe in them and their values. And they gave me ideas of what I should do to be able to put my training on their timeline, on their platform, so that the affiliates on the platform can market it, which is a beautiful thing. So as they're marketing, I'm just getting my money, and everybody's happy. So I think I'm building bigger and better, and I'm divesting in other things. I have divested into real estate now. I've also gone into clothes, making clothes. We are going to be launching in March, me and my partner. So, I just feel that the journey is just beginning, so to say, as people would say, motivation. So, I don't think I've regretted it.
Okay, yes. For me, even setbacks are part of the journey. That even makes it sweeter. If you don't experience one of those things, how will you even enjoy the beauty of success when you've not tasted failure at some point? So yeah. I think it's part of the journey, and it's quite an experience. So let's move a little away from business and let's talk a little on relationship and lifestyle. Yes, I know you're married, but also before you got married, I'm sure you had a couple of relationships here and there. So at what point did you feel that Joy was the right person? Like, what stood out from other relationships you had? I've seen your post where you talked about your experience in school, how you're a hot guy, both in terms of books and also in terms of, talking to the ladies and all that. Yeah. So with all those experiences, how did you now end up like, okay, Joy, you're the one? Okay,
before me and Joy, before we really got serious, I had 2 other relationships before that. Sorry, excuse me, please. Hello? Yeah? Yeah, come in. So before, my people, the office desk. from there. So before we got married, I had two beautiful relationships before that. You know, one of them was the fact that I really wanted to marry the girl. Anyway, the foundational thing for me is a lady that will give me peace of mind. I didn't want to get into a relationship with someone that my head would be all over the place. When I travel, she can't take care of the home front. You know, doesn't mean that she's always going to be home, but I'm saying that in case I'm not around, she can take the home front. When she's not around me, I can, take care of the home front and all that peace. And the thing is that I don't know if there's a formula to that. I think it's a knowing that every one of us knows that I can't describe exactly. There's a technique or a formula to just knowing, having that peace in your mind that this is the individual. And so the first one I wanted to settle down with, her father wanted her to settle down quite quickly, but I told her that I needed to settle down at the age of 29, but she said she couldn't wait for me, and so we split amicably. We are still good friends today. She's happy with me, I'm happy with her, and she's married to someone else now, got 4 kids. But the second lady that I wanted to settle down with, she actually wanted to settle down, but at the time I met her, there was a guy in Canada at the time that wanted to settle down with her. But the guy had a few issues, I think immigration and some issues like that. And so when this girl would visit me, I saw that she actually really loved that guy, but because of those issues, she really wanted to settle down. And she loved me also, but then she was wanting me to just open my mouth and say, I want to marry you. Let's settle down. But for me, I felt like if I did that, this was a man somewhere loving this lady, but because of certain issues, he couldn't just jump the hoops. So I said to myself, this is my fellow guy man, or this is my fellow man. If I do this to this guy, I don't know how it's going to feel. I understand the part of trying to break, because the girl said to me later that if I had just told her that I was ready to marry her, that she would have veered from the other guy and would have gone ahead to marry. So today she even came to my house, and the guy called. She looked at me. I said, no, just go ahead. Go and talk to the guy. Leave this sitting room where we are. Going to the room. I had a 2-bedroom apartment at the time. Go into the rooms you want. Just stay there and have your talk and talk with the guy. And so she went in there and spent time, 1 hour or so with the guy talking. When she came out, I just looked at her face. And I was like, this girl is in love with this guy. I think I just can't stop what is happening between the two of them. And so I gave her my, how do I put it now? I gave her my blessing. I said, please, by all means, I think that this guy will jump through his problems, And today, guess what? 2 of them are married. And yeah, in Canada. And one day, when we were chatting some years back, I said to her, imagine now that you had gotten married to me. Maybe you would have been in Nigeria now with me. And you know what she said? She said to me, if you had gotten married, maybe you would have been in Canada right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was fun. We're still on good terms. She reads my posts on Facebook. She comments when she can. And I comment when I can. But, we're on good level. So, but Joy, when I met Joy, had good peace of mind. We'll sit down and have conversations. We just be talking. We were friends for like a year. It didn't even really occur to me that I was going to marry her. We just enjoyed. So we go to church. After church, she would take me to. She knew I loved books. She would take me to the bookshop, and we'll read. I'll read books. I'll buy some and all that. So it was just after a year, I was like, this babe makes sense. Because there was this thing about Joy. She, you meet girls, and then the next thing they're asking you for money. Like the other 2 girls, they didn't exhibit such things. Like, when you meet girls, after a while they're asking for money for this, money for that, money for this, money for that. But Joy wasn't like that. She was contented with what she was getting in terms of money. And for me, because I was a friend, I was now supporting, not like it was an obligation, not that it was a responsibility. There's some girls you meet, you become like they carry all their burdens and put on you like as if you're Jesus Christ, and you need to press you down. So, but Joy wasn't like that, you know. So she was always looking after me, looking out for the things that could help me. And so, like, man, think. So I made up my mind. I said I was going to speak to her. The first day I wanted to tell her about my mind, what was going on in my mind. I lost liver, you know. I couldn't.
Really?
I tell you, so I just told her I have something I want to really tell you, but I think I will discuss about it later. I did this thing 3 times, 3 good times. And she said to me later that her mind had already told her what I wanted to say. But she was just waiting for me to say it. So eventually I said it. Yeah, so eventually I said it, and you know, and I told her that was in 2000. I met Joy 2004. So up between 2004 2005 we were just friends, and then by 2006 I got a job in Saipem, and then they sent me abroad. And so when I came back from one of those trips, I told her in my mind that, you know, I want us to settle down and get married. And then I engaged her that 2006 December, and then we became engaged till 2010 when we eventually got married. So that's the journey of my love life.
Interesting. Love life is always something that is good for it. I can see the comment section already. I already say nice. So you like all this kind of gist very well. Well, it's quite. Yeah, it's quite interesting to also hear the journey that I never knew you at one point to leave a court to talk. I thought you've always been the, you know, those things are not big deals, just like, you know, but I also figure out that I guess at some point, especially when you are with the right person, those your skills just melt down, and then you become your normal self. And the normal fear, the catch all of us just comes and like, you know, this is heavy for our hearts to tell. Well, it's all nice, it's all good. So another question I would like to ask, still on the relationship matter. Yeah, you have 3 kids. How do you manage, you know, family and business? Because I know at some point maybe there are some demands, you know, as a father, you have to give attention to the kids, give attention to your wife, give attention to your business, and also her own business. So how do you manage all that and it doesn't tell on you at all?
Okay. So the whole thing is about putting structure to your business. For example, now I'm already done with work, and I don't go. My laptop is here. I don't go home with my laptop. You get my laptop is right here on my table. It stays here. I go home only with my phone. And so when I get back home, I stay with my kids. You know, we talk about the day. You know, sometimes when I get back home, they are watching cartoon. They don't send me. But the times that they have my time, we talk about day's work, what happened, and all that. And that's the means of catching up and being with them for a while. The same thing with my wife. My wife works from home, so she really stops at people stop asking for orders before 6 p.m. most times. She's done with the day's orders, right? And so that's how it's been for. It's just putting structure in place. And sometimes I live a regimented life. I don't really do the kind of things other people do. Sometimes I don't go for weddings, I don't go to burials and all that kind of stuff. Just structure, you know. And then when I get back home and there with them, I have a conversation. We get to, you know, inside the room and we talk. You know, just those times here and there that you can get, and quite very valuable times, you know. And they total together to make the family. And then you have conversations with your kids. I don't flog my kids. My kids don't fear me. They're not afraid of me. They are happy anytime they see me home. And so I have conversations with them. They know what's going on in my life. They know, you know. And you may think that children don't understand. They do if you have conversations with them. So I keep having conversations with my kids, no matter how young you think that they are, so they get to understand what's going on. You know, so that's it for me. Basically, it's all about structure, what you do. That just people say put a balance there. I don't think there has to be balance in their minds that everything has to be at equilibrium. Same, no, I don't believe in that. Sometimes this one is higher. Sometimes I'm away from home. Sometimes, you know, just like that. Just keep tilting them, you know, from time to time, juggling the balls. For me, that's how it is for me.
Oh, okay, that's nice. That's the structures and of course along the line, so the balance and all. Beautiful. So let me ask this last question about family. Is there? I know you have 3 kids. Do you have a favorite favorite amongst them?
No, never have a favorite amongst your kids. It will breed unhealthy competition amongst them. So for my kids, you may be thinking I don't have people. I don't know how they do that, but I see a lot of them. They have their own. My last daughter now, because she's the last, will always want to come to daddy and climb on my body and all that kind of. And the other ones don't really care. When she does that, they don't really care. But whenever I get back home, you find out that they all come to greet me. So I am carrying up. I carry. It's just that I can't carry Best anymore now because it's big. But I carry Chisom, I carry a Daisy, then I hug Best, like that. When I go to school in the morning, they're doing that, they bye-bye, I kiss each one of them, equally. So they need to see the fact that daddy loves me. I'm not a special one. Do you get? Don't try to make your kids believe that there's someone that one of them is special amongst them. So we are always. My wife doesn't do the same thing. She gives them equal attention, gives them. It breeds unhealthy comparison amongst them if you want to make one, So, and parents have a way of doing this thing. Sometimes they don't even know when to do it. Like, they want to take a decision now. You now tell them, okay, until Best comes and tells me, I will not agree. They now believe that Best is a special one. When they now believe that Best is a special one, it's not a good thing to get. So, I don't know how people do it. They say they have, but I've looked at all my kids and I don't see anything. I don't see one of them is special. I show actions to make them know that there's no special one amongst them. So the same way, So the same. Same way I hug Best, or hug Chisom, or hug Daisy, yes. Kiss Best on the cheek, kiss this on the cheek like that, and then they all know that they're all special in their own different ways, and that's it.
So maybe people might say that probably good for you, all your kids are good, no one is stubborn, they're all nice and all that. But
no,
in their case,
you need to realize
yes.
that Chisom now is the most stubborn. Chisom is the most stubborn. Chisom, when she's silent in the house, you need to find her because she's doing something nasty somewhere. And as she's washing in the kitchen. Before it used to be climbing something, but now she doesn't climb like that. But it's now washing. She's washing soap inside, and we have 3 bathrooms. I have to find her in all this. So it doesn't mean that my kids are not. They exhibit some inherent behavior from time to time. Do you get? And you tend to have conversations. I can't remember the last time that I can't remember flogging my kids. Best is 10 years old, and I can't remember flogging him up to 3 times in his lifetime now, because it's more conversations, except when he's unusually naughty or stupid, that I will now wield the cane. But I have more conversations with them. Well, somebody will say that I'm lucky. I don't know. The kids don't give me headache. I'm constantly, like this morning now, I had conversations with Best before I left the house, but they ask me questions. If they can't ask you questions as the father, who would they now ask questions for? And so they tend to believe that you are the superhero in their lives. So whatever you tell them is what they should hold as the element of truth. So when Best comes to ask me, okay, maybe I'm watching football and then something happens, and then he comes and tells me, Daddy, why did the footballer do like this? Why did he do that? Why did they throw that ball? Why? They're kicking with the leg, but they're not throwing with their hand. Daddy, why? So you need to be able to explain why, all those things, explain. Even no matter how many, Best can ask 1,000 questions. Remember one day that we were going on the road, and he asked me about one guy that used to supply gas to us, and I told him that the guy had died. The next thing, Daddy, how did he die? I explained that one, how he died. And I started asking me, so when he died, where did he take his body to? And I started explaining mortuary and everything. And I said, Daddy, inside that mortuary, where did they keep them? And I told him. And then from there, I went to burial. From burial, and I started asking me, okay, when they put him in the ground, did he get rotten? I began to explain all those things gradually for him. And so if I am the father, I can't explain them. Where will he learn all those things from? Do you get? So it's critically important as we're raising our kids to have conversations with them, to not when we're growing up, kids will always be hushed. When you ask certain questions, hey, shut up, don't you know you're a child? Keep quiet and all that. I don't do that to my kids, and I don't want anybody to do it to me. Like when Best was growing up, Best used to, when we go to church, Best would be moving all around the church, make this kind of noise and all that. One woman in church one day now said that Best was possessed. I changed them. I mean, I changed them right there for the woman, corrected her instantly, and told her never to ever say that kind of thing about my son again. Because this is a young child, this is their age for them to do rambunctious, this is an age for them to do all kinds of things that
to move around.
So don't ever say that my son is possessed again. And the woman she saw it in me, and then she never did again. So now the same Best that was running around in church making noise is not the one now that is carrying all the sisters and putting them in place. No more noise making in church. He knows that he's not the one now that is now in teenage church. He goes to teenage church. I mean, it's the gradation of life. You get, so that's it.
Yeah, I do get. It's just that sometimes, especially Nigerians, we spiritualize everything. We tend, I don't want to use the word called over spiritual. I don't want to use that word, but somehow we just tell everything. We are people from the village. You are cursed. This one you need to go for fasting. When it could just be certain basics of maybe ignorance as the problem, or that you don't know that this exists, and it is not. It's not a possession matter. It is a situation of not being aware, or a mental problem, or a health issue that is causing this, and then you just say, it's spirit, you are possessed, you are this, go for cleansing and the rest of them. I hope we just understand there's a part of ignorance, a part of knowledge, and then
my wife,
that.
My wife, the first day she saw, there was a day Best woke up and his penis was so hard and straight. I came out like, why is this boy having an erection? I'm like, it's normal with boys. Don't think anything else about that thing. Boys, normal with them for them to have erections in the morning. My wife, okay. So
yes. So one last question on this. Is there a secret formula that has helped you to your family to stay united? And I missed of course, I'm sure you follow social media. I can't ask that kind of question. You see all the breakups and everything that's happening with celebrities and the rest of them. You are an influencer in your own rights. And so is there just a secret formula that has helped your family to stay together? We see the pictures, the time you spend with your wife, lovely moments and all that. So is there one secret formula somewhere that you're using to make this happen, that maybe others can tap from, to make sure that they also stay together and they don't think of divorce,
My brother, I see, is when people start to live life based on certain compartmentalizations. Let me use that word, that they are always living on the edge. Do you know? Because somebody's asking how old. Best is 10 years old now. Somebody's asking. Hollis is asking how old. Best is 10 years. So he's going to 11. He was born 2012. So he's going on to 11 years now, but he's 10. So I don't base my life on certain compartmentalizations. The way I look at it. So even me and my wife have had those conversations about divorce. Really, I mean, the thing people think that is they should kill themselves over. Yeah, I believe in divorce. So I do. I mean, if it's not working anymore, why won't kill ourselves? You get what I mean? People when they hear me say something, Emeka, but you're a Christian. I say, okay, that's for you. I mean, I'm telling you how it is. Because when we live our lives based on the fact that, I mean, the edginess, the tension, the pressure and everything to want to do things right all the time can lead you to certain dangerous paths. This is how I believe. So I believe that what really works for us is just being intentional about what we do, right? I'm intentional about having a relationship with my kids. I'm intentional about, doesn't mean that I'm the perfect guy. It doesn't mean my wife is the perfect individual, but we're all just there managing our insecurities, managing our bad sides, managing our shortcomings. You get? I mean, I've had issues also with my wife in the past, and over time she became better. The same thing with me. I've had issues. Some ladies who see me now on social media are like, oh, that guy is so good, he's that. And I tell them, if you come and live with me in my house, you go shock. Yes, all that thing. Is when you enter my house, you come and see that, another thing. So don't be wishing for certain things, because Emeka Nobis can be mad. Certain things that I do at home that some other ladies will not tolerate. That's the truth. Like, for example, I'm not the gombody type. Like a woman, I'm in love with a woman. She'll now come in, but we go out for function. She'll come be holding my hand and all that. Nah, I don't do those kind of things. What every lady will tolerate it. But my wife doesn't do it. She knows I'm not that. I don't do. She knows that I don't wear same material like going for a function, wearing and cool, and all those kind of things. She doesn't like.
Yeah.
She yearns that we wear it, but she knows that I don't. So it manages me like that. Do you get what I mean? So it's not about knowing how we can know our, what's it called, our bad sides or good sides and imperfections here and there and everything. So, and then I don't project myself as the perfect guy. There's some individuals who come online and tell you, I can never do this, I can never do this, I can never do this, I can never do this. My guy, you never jam certain.
You never jam.
certain circumstances.
Yes.
And, so I don't project myself like that. That I am a human being that is beyond being infallible. I mean, I'm a human being that is infallible. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I still have my shortcomings. I still have the places I mess up. So when I come on Facebook, I only share the things that I know. I cannot come there and tell you, you're an idiot for doing this. You don't know something like this. You're supposed to live your life. This one. No. When people connect to me, I'm more of a conversationalist. If you follow me, you see that I'm more. I'm like, come, let's have a conversation. I'm not saying, guy, I am top here and every one of you is just below here. Whatever I say is no, I'm power. No, I'm always, let's have a conversation. These are my thoughts. Let's have the conversation. That can better our lives. That's how I look at it.
Yes, I think that this nature of yours is what has connected me and other persons to you. We see the freeness and the openness with which you just say the things that are in your mind like that. Doesn't necessarily need to be one package or perfect kind of thing. It just comes natural. And we love people who are natural, people who have those frailties too, and we can see that, okay, at some point these frailties exist and how they've been able to manage it, and they also show us the way it's easy for you to have more persons follow you that way. And trust me, that's one of the things I've endeared me to you personally. And I look forward to all your posts to see the next one and the next one and the next one. And it's been amazing all through. So I think enough of the relationship. Let's come to the last part, which is lifestyle.
Okay.
So basically, you talked about vacation last December. So what's been that ideal vacation spot for you? And have you really achieved that? Or you're still planning that, okay, maybe in the year 2023, that's when I'll go for that particular place that's always been in my mind. The rest of that ideal vacation spot.
I'm also planning for, we did the one we did last year was Wari. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this year we could go somewhere that is not maybe not Imo State or Port Harcourt. I'm still not decided. I was in Delta State, Abraka last year. We were at there was a resort we went to in Abraka, which was beautiful, but the problem there is that network is an issue. So I'm thinking how I go there without network. I know to Badu, and then they don't have. I don't know whether they have a suite where we could all stay in and then we cook for ourselves and all that. So, but I'm still thinking that. But I'm thinking it shouldn't be so expensive, really. There's another one in Abuja that I also heard about. It's like a farm where people go and they live in like a hut in huts. So there are ones that have 2 beds inside, so we can rent that one. Me and my wife on one bed, my kids on one bed. They wake up in the morning, we can eat. So, but I've not yet decided. But I know that we're going to go on another vacation this year. But it's not going to be outside the country, but it's going to still be within Nigeria. But I'm yet to decide where we're going to go.
Oh, okay. So that's nice. So again, on this show, I've told several persons that as much as we work, we need to have time to also relax, have fun, creation and all that. So that gives us that perfect balance, so that we can also do more. So how do you relax? What's your do? Do you relax with movies? Is it music?
Well, I relax. Most times these days now I relax with music. I relax with movies. I can watch football matches. Or generally just lie on the bed. Listen to songs. Basically that's how I relax. Or when I have the time, I can hang out with a few friends that are trustworthy. So I can be with them and lower my defenses and my guards. And I can feel comfortable in their presence. So these are basically the means that I chill out, and calm my head, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Do you sometimes have this thought like, let me just do something crazy, like random stuff like that, apart that aside from your normal self? Does that thought of that come to you at any point in time?
Yes, it does. But you know, every one of us live. We need boundaries. I said the things you don't want to do, even though that's just crazy in your head. But one of the videos that I think I'm going to go viral is this current training I'm doing. You know, I'm going to add more videos to it. So I'm going to wear a jalabia, wear like a Saudi Arabian guy, and then I'm going to rub powder on my face. You know, I'm going to rub powder on my face and have the video recorded. You know, as one of the sessions. You know, and I believe that that video is going to go viral because I've not seen anybody do something like that before. I mean, purely beautifully recorded video, but there's powder on your face. You know, I'm going to be talking about not being normal or not being usual when you're creating content, because if you're always usual all the time, there's a woman I had conversations with this morning, and I told her, look, not every time you're showing us me. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we lost you for a bit. You're back now.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm back now. You know, so I'm saying, you know, we can just do usual things from time to time, and it's a good way
Yeah,
to make people see other sides of us.
you stopped where you were telling us about. Okay, you stopped where you were telling us about the woman you had a conversation with this morning.
Okay, yes, I told her just do things that are different. Not every day you're showing up prim and proper. Some days snap your shoes, some days snap your laps, some days put the camera at the back of your head and snap. You know, just do things that are different. You know, that's how it is.
Yeah, these are things we've seen about you, and that again, like you said, endears us to you the more. As random as they might seem, it has its own power of connecting with people and drawing people towards you. And the tag shameless marketing. How did you even think about it in the first place? It's been a brand that we've associated with you, and truly you've done that. You've shown us how we can actually do this thing shamelessly. And but how did you even come about that shameless marketing in the first place?
I think it was someone. I think it's just people who began to talk about me when it has to do with marketing. Emeka, you're just shameless. There was a time I did a video. I was in the bathroom and my chest was showing. They're like, guy, you're too shameless, you know. These were marketing things, yeah. So one day I was like, these two words, shameless marketing. So people are beginning to tell me. So that was how I came up with that coinage, and I've been shooting it. People now relate to me when it has to do with shameless marketing. People just remember Emeka Nobis, and I'm writing it as a book. And one of the ways that I'm making this thing to sink in is that this year I'm writing posts that have to do with shameless marketing, and I'm putting a hashtag because the book is going to come out next year, 2024. So for all the posts that I'm creating that has to do with marketing, I'm putting shameless marketing. So as people are reading me, shameless marketing is dropping in their head. Shameless marketing is dropping in their head. And all through last year, when we did the tours to 7 different cities, my talk was shameless marketing. So imagine getting exposed to every city on the average 500 to 1,000 people who now connect Emeka Nobis to shameless marketing. So that's how I've been pushing it, and it's really working out. People are connecting my name to shameless marketing. So when the book comes out, boom, I think people have already started demanding the book. That's telling the truth. People have started, like I speak at where's shameless marketing? I want to buy it. I mean, they have been sending me messages, which I know that by the time the book comes out, it will catch up.
Yes, I remember you talking about that book in one of those stores. I was in the Lagos store and also the Port Harcourt store that you had last year. And I think you mentioned it's going to come out in 2023, 2024. So you gave me a year that was... I know you gave me a year that was... I said, we'll have to wait for 2 years for this book. Okay, no problem. We are waiting. We are waiting for that book because it's yes, you've created that in our heads, and we are definitely looking forward to having that. Okay, just as we hit home stretch, those who are online, I can see you. This is the time you can drop your questions quickly. We are about to get to the end of the session. I'm sure he can also answer all the questions. This question centered around business, relationship, and lifestyle is what we're discussing, and he has shared his, he himself, how he is and how he has been able to navigate these 3 aspects, shamelessly and smoothly. with highs and lows. So if you have your question, drop it in the comment section quickly, so that we can also react to it quickly before we wrap up the event for tonight. Again, let me just acknowledge those who are online. Newton, I can see you. Thank you for joining us. Woman in Port Harcourt, you're also here. Thank you for joining. Barbara, thank you for also joining. Ahmed, I see you also. Thank you for joining. Oluwaseyi and the rest of you, I see all of you. Thank you for joining. But if you're not following Emeka Nobis, please, you are missing a whole lot. Follow him right now. The value he gives is something else. On a daily basis, we get to see 4 or 5 posts on social media, Facebook specifically, and trust me, it's just value overload. So follow him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram and everywhere else, and also follow me if you want to follow me. I can also give you the little value I have, right? So that's that. So quickly, before we end the session, like I said, drop your questions. If you can hear me, drop your questions right in the comment section so that we can take them also as we hit home stretch. Before we go, I would like to talk a little about. I know that you have a lot of books, and recently there's Glorious Audience on Facebook that pays. Glorious Audience that pays on Facebook. That's the most recent one. Which of course I've also bought that course already. 30 videos, that's amazing, amazing really. Well shot and all that, and the value system is out of this world. At this point also, I know a lot of persons might also want to know some of the books you have and the offers that they can get to connect and get them, buy them. So maybe you could just share a little of them for the essence of those who want to get them. So. Okay,
so some of the books that you saw me showcase when I was in Lagos, many of them have, we need to reprint some of them. So I just have only 3 books now. Your book we sell, Bank a Lot, and Got a Top Boss, Buy Him a Banana. This year I'm doing 5 books for my birthday, so there'll be a whole lot of array of books for people to buy when I'm turned 43 on 1st of July. So that's basically for my books. Your book will sell for those who want to make money from their written books. Bank a Lot, those who want to make money from online courses and making money almost on a daily basis. And then Got a Tough Boss, Buy Me a Banana for those who want to know how to work with their bosses, and have a beautiful relationship with their bosses. I can see a question here. How are you able to make so many posts in every day? I believe that the algorithm favors those who make a lot of posts. That's how I believe it. The algorithm. And the more that I make posts, the more I feel that I'm relevant to Facebook. So Facebook is really my place of where I do my stuff most of the time. I just turned 82,000 followers yesterday, and as of today, 200 new followers have even followed me, even though I've been on a ban. If you notice, since Monday I've not posted anything. I've been on Facebook ban since Monday, but I'm coming out from jail by tonight at 9 p.m. so that I can be free. I can be free again to post. Now I know the kind of things now that Facebook doesn't like. So whenever I'm making a post, I have to check my words. Even comment section and everything. And so that's it. Basically, every day I feel that the algorithm favors those of us who make multiple posts. So posts that I make, sometimes it doesn't need to be business all the time. It could be food that you're eating, you talk about the food. It could be somewhere you're going, to talk about it. It could be you or joining somewhere, just talk about it. I mean, during my holiday, did you see me? I wasn't talking business all the time. I snapped my daughters and talk about it. I mean, I talked about goods. I made like 4 different posts, 5 different posts about goods, and people were connecting. Talking about the goods everywhere I go to. You don't chop. Like I went to one event like that. Somebody brought out the good again. I said, Emeka, so you chop all that good by yourself. You know what I mean? And then I like to make people talk. I like to make people talk, have conversations. When I went to take a picture of that good, I went to the block house. I went to the and I took a picture.
Yes, I saw it.
if I had just done normal good picture, it wouldn't have made sense. But I just said, as soon as I landed, I went to inspect the block house of the goat, and I took pictures of the block house, big as it was, took picture of the goat. People started talking, this block house makes sense, those kind of things, So you just don't do the usual. So I was making posts about goats, and people were commenting, they were engaging and all that stuff. So every day of our lives, I think that, conversations you have, places that you go, things you see with your eyes, books you read, content boku everywhere. It's just that people are not intentional about using them. everywhere content now. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
I remember you talking about if we can only just write down the whole activities we did in a day,
in
that we will see
day.
that we have so much content to write about just in a day, just everything from waking up from sleep and to taking your bath and brushing your teeth. You can document all that down. You'll see that you have a lot of things that you can expand and really talk about. I got that again from you. You shared that. So that's also an amazing thing. So guys, please, this is the time to drop your questions. We are almost at the end. Drop your questions now before we say goodbye to the Don, who has been sharing his value for, I think, close to an hour now, if I'm correct. He has been sharing that content with us from business to relationship to lifestyle and everything in between. And I'm sure it's been a swell time. You didn't talk about the ebooks. You didn't talk about the physical books you had. Again, of courses, ebooks that they can also get from you.
If you want the ebooks, they're on my seller platform. I'm going to put all the books also on my website, 𝐒𝐿𝐴.com. But for now, it's on seller, SELAR.co/Emeka Nobis, so you can access. If you want to send me a message, you can. I can send you the link so that you can see. That's where my ebooks are, basically, and my trainings and my courses, basically.
Okay, so guys, you've had that. Just go to seller and you'll see a lot that you can gain and connect. And trust me, these books are of value. I've gotten a couple of them, and I know also that it's value overload. Trust me on that one. When I say that,
see the ones at the back, man. I see them. That's
see it too. I can see it. Your book is there. Yes. Yes. That's marketing. Your book is selling right there. I can see Bank Alert also right there. Like I'm seeing a picture at the edge. I don't know what that picture is. I'm seeing your face. The glasses.
That's my picture. That's a gift somebody gave me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know I've been in that office before, and I know it is I saw when I got to that office.
If you look down, you can see the beginning of Madman Speak Revelations. I think, can you see?
Yes, you can see that Madman Speak Revelations. Yeah. Yes. That's another nice one. So there's an encyclopedia of books. Apart from just how he speaks, he also documents these things so we can also get them and have a little idea of how much his creativity has evolved.
Do you know that this training, the how to grow your social media audience, is everything I did is going into a book. Those videos were 3 minutes each, but the book will expand more. So I'm going to put stories, inside of the book and my perspectives. And so you find out that those who also bought the training will also buy the book. That's the truth. So for everything that we are doing in life, all our processes, the things we are working through, if you can be able to document these things in books, people will buy. That's how I look at it, basically.
I'm actually looking forward to the tour. You say you're going to be on Namdi basically put together a book or something.
That's one of the 5 books. That's one of the 5 books that I'm doing this year. So the strategy of tours, me and Namdi, we're writing that. We are co-authoring the book. So what people now, if you see, there are young boys, 4 of them who want to go on tours. Yesterday they held a meeting with us, bought fish, bought drinks, and they were drinking, asking us questions. How did you guys do your tours? And look like ourselves like grandmasters, in their presence, and and we're like blessing them with grandfather blessings, to telling them go in peace and go and deliver.
I guess I've seen their posts coming near you, Joseph Don, Manuel. I think we're looking forward to them.
So that's to show you that some of the things you do in life, some individuals want to go on that same path. Why don't you document it? That can be a blessing to them. So that's why me and Namdi we are writing that book, because we know that more people will do tours and they can depend on the template and share. Okay, I think we have to go there. They're already giving me I'm still in my office, so the guys are wanting me to leave.
That's about it. We are already done with the conversation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this time you have spent. I know what an hour means to you. If I was supposed to pay for this hour, I know what that was going to cost me. But you decided to do this for free. This is one of the things you used to bless people, and I'm quite grateful for this opportunity to really come on this show. And I'm sure more persons are going to still watch the replay. And it's going to be on my YouTube channel. People can also go there and watch, get knowledge about what you have shared. And we do appreciate your time with us today, and
Thank
God
you.
bless you for all you do. And
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the next tour that's coming up this year, because I know you said there's a tour coming this year, so looking forward to you coming to our city again. And I'm sure I should be in that event. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have a nice time.
Now,
all right,
bye
guys.
Bye. See that shut off the generator.
No problem. Bye. All right, guys. Thank you. That was the Don Emeka Nobis that definitely has shared so much value tonight. And trust me, this session is something you don't want to miss. The replay will still be on my YouTube channel, where you can get to watch it once more to get the value that the Don has shared. He is always full of value. I'm so elated right now that he gave us this time, and he did this just for you. If you're not following him yet, go right now and follow him. If you're not following me, also follow me here on Instagram, because we'll be having more presents coming up to grace this occasion. I'll be getting more presents that you'd always love to see right here, and we'll be having this conversation, so you have a peep into their life. All right, until I come your way again on another Thursday, we'll be having the next BRL conversation. My name is Emeka Nobis. I am the GOAT moderator. See you in our next edition. Bye for now.